back to another episode of our vet project on the Pet Project app. Joining us is a friend of the show, albeit maybe one of the first times she's been here virtually. Please welcome Dr. Sydney J from the Azalea Animal Hospital. Dr. J, thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, good to be here. Yeah.
So we've been, trying to tidy up at least our places. With being summer, it's a lot busier than normal. We have a lot of people coming over. We have a ton of stuff, which means we're cleaning a lot more often with having so many different people over. We're cooking. There's a lot of fresh berries and spills with all of the kids coming over. But some of those cleaning products around the house can be harmful to our pets. And the scary part is, a lot of the times, we don't even know that they're toxic. So, of course, Dr. J is here to talk about some of the most common ones. Now, Dr. J, normally we have specific and very different questions. This time, I'm going to give you a type of cleaning product, and I want you to tell us what this product can be found in, and then we're going to go with how effective it is and what alternates, or how it affects our pets, and then what alternatives we can use that are safer. So, is that cool with you?
Yeah, sounds good.
Perfect. All right, let's start with ammonia. So we definitely, as soon as I say ammonia, I can smell it already in my nose because it's so strong. But what kind of cleaning products that are super popular is in, that ammonia is in?
Yeah, so ammonia is actually way more common than you would think and is not always quite as strong as you're thinking. It's found in a lot of like multi-purpose cleaners and different things like that. So it can be super, super common. It's in a lot of things. Typically with our pets, what we're going to find is that it irritates their respiratory tract. So if they're inhaling a lot of those fumes, things like that, that can be irritating. Um, it's common to be used. You can try and find maybe some natural, safer alternatives, but the biggest thing is just keep your pets away while you're using it. Keep it there, let it dry, let it calm down, air out a bit, and then kind of bring them back in, and just certainly store it somewhere they can't get to it.
That makes sense. I know when I'm cleaning, my dog always wants to smell what's happening. So as long as they maybe shut them out of that room while you're doing all of the cleaning of, whatever crazy mess the kids have made that afternoon. And then once it dries, it should be safe then to be able to open the door and resume the dog smells.
Yes, it should be fine. Just, yeah, kind of keep it dry and make sure they don't get into too much of it. So
fantastic. Yeah. Now this one I don't immediately recognize it. Fennel?
Yeah. So phenols are a type
Phenol.
of compound. Yeah. So if you think about that all ending, it's found in a couple things. So like Lysol, Pine Sol, can be phenol-based compounds. A little bit less common than our ammonias. What they do is they actually break down proteins, which can be really helpful for cleaning, but also can break down proteins in your pet, leading to different kinds of problems. So if they get into a lot of it, neurotoxic issues, you can have liver issues, can lead to death, dependent on how much they consume. So cats tend to be more sensitive than dogs. Similar, some of these things are just, they're great products. And sometimes using them is a really good thing. But you just, once again, keep your pets out of them, try and shut them out of the room, especially your cats, making sure everything's dry, wiped down. If you've cleaned a surface with it and it's back to its kind of normal dry state, you should be okay. But trying to keep your cats from licking it. Cats are another one to talk about because they get their paws all in things. So they're going to walk on stuff and then they groom a lot. So definitely keeping that in mind. If they get dirty little feet, wiping those off before they have a chance to ingest it would be great.
Yeah, I didn't even think about the cats on their paws and how it goes straight into their systems. Now, you said, if they ingest a lot of the phenols, you said it's Pine Sol. So are we talking something more similar to, you pour the Pine Sol in the toilet, let it sit for a while, and the dog or cat comes and drinks out of it? Or maybe when we're storing our cleaning supplies and it's under the sink, they get curious and a dog bites through that and tries to drink it? Or is it enough to make them sick if it's just wet and it's cleaned through?
Yeah, so really a lot of this gets into it's very dose dependent, which means the size of your pet is very important. A difference in a Great Dane and a Chihuahua here can be really important. So the best thing to do, honestly, if you feel like your pet's gotten into one of these things and you're not sure how much they got, or it was really diluted, or you don't even know, there is a pet poison control hotline that a lot of people don't know about, but it is fantastic. Not only can they walk you through what's going on, they have all the data on different kinds of these things, especially all the cleaners. They know what can happen. They know how much is going to hurt your pet. And not only can they help you, if your pet is really ill, they can help your veterinarian out too with like exactly what's going to happen with this and what to do to make it better faster.
Yeah, definitely. These next ones elicit kind of a more dramatic response to me, at least, with the smell. We're talking about bleach and chlorine. Now, I know that it feels like they're stronger, definitely smells stronger. Does that translate to the severity of the illness should our pets ingest it?
Yeah, not necessarily. So phenols can actually cause kind of worse side effects than bleaches and things. Bleaches kind of usually cause more topical burns. So if they drink bleach or something like that, they're going to get burns to their mouth. They can get burns to their esophagus, things like that. But really more irritating. They can irritate the respiratory tract. Less likely to cause death unless they've, drank a whole lot of bleach and have a big problem like that, which less likely to happen, but certainly toilet bowl cleaners, things like that. It's added to a lot of products and can certainly be harmful.
So with that one, is that one that we should maybe switch out, not have in the homes, or easy to just exercise caution and responsibility, and it shouldn't be an issue?
Similar, I would say just exercise caution. I think it's fine to use so long as you use it safely. Things like toilet bowl cleaners, if you are a person who likes to let that sit in your toilet and it always is kind of, discolored or foamy or just clean that heavily, then keep the lid down. Make sure if you have a dog or a cat, just don't let them drink toilet water, especially if it has large amounts of cleaner in it. Just kind of keeping their access limited. Most of these used as we use in a normal home are going to be just fine.
Sounds good. Definitely eases some fears there. Now, our last one, I'm not sure if I'm going to pronounce it correctly, but I think you'll be able to get it. Isopropyl alcohol?
Yeah, that's exactly correct. So isopropyl alcohol is basically rubbing alcohol. It's found in hand sanitizers and things like that. We actually use a ton of it around the clinic. So this one is not in particular super toxic to pets. The most common thing you'll see a lot of pets, if they lick it or they get it in their mouth, they'll start drooling and salivating because it just tastes really bad. But they'd have to drink a lot of it to have a problem. And given how quickly it dries, unlikely to be a problem. So similar, just let it dry, use it like you normally would, but the amount you have in a home should probably not harm your pets.
That sounds like that might be the ideal cleaner then, if it's used in vet offices as well.
Yeah, so we do use it in offices. There's certainly things it won't clean, and certainly things it's not ideal for, but it is pretty safe. It dries quickly, but if you can use it, it's great for wiping stuff down and things like that.
Now, overall, how common do you see household cleaners being the reason for a pet's visit?
Yeah, pretty rare. In general, it's pretty rare for us to see these things. Now, it does happen, but typically toilet bowl water is a big one, or they got into a whole bottle under the sink, something like that. So usually, as long as you store it in a place where your pet can't get it, if you have a puppy that tends to get into things, child locks, cabinet locks, things like that are really your friend, or storing them up high where your pets can't get it. Usually those are the incidents we'll see, but normal cleaning, I just, cleaned my house and it's, ready to have people over, usually doesn't end up hurting somebody's pet.
It's great to know. It's great to be prepared, understand what is going to cause the most harm, but also know, the rarity of an issue when it comes to how much time we need to spend worrying about it, right?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Well, Dr. J, thank you so much for joining us here on East Texas Now for another episode of our Vet Project, and we'll talk again soon.
Sounds great. Bye.
Now, guys, if you have any questions that you want to be in our next Vet Project, again, this happens every Thursday, 12:30 on the dot. Here's what you can do. Simply send your questions over to, here it is, Pet Project at KOTV or KTRE.com. We're going to get those in, and then you can see your questions on our next segment of our Pet Project, Vet Project.